It's time for Dixie State University Athletics on Radio Dixie 91.3 KXDS Santa Clara. DSU Athletics on Radio Dixie 91.3 is brought to you by Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln, your neighborhood Ford dealer. We hear you. And now, it's time for DSU Athletics.
Welcome to Radio Dixie 91.3. We have another great lineup of games for you tonight that include the Lady Trailblazers of Dixie State and the Lady Rangers of Regis University. Hello, everyone. I'm Mark Kelly, welcoming you into another great afternoon of Trailblazer basketball. I'm alone this afternoon. I'll be calling the game myself. Pre-game, halftime, post-game. I'm going to be everybody today. So stick around with me. We're going to have a great matchup. We have a good matchup this afternoon where both teams are trying to fight to stay in the middle of the pack in the RMAC and be ready for the RMAC tournament coming up in just 2 months. Last night, the Lady Trailblazers took on Colorado Christian and lost 78-61, their second worst loss of the season. And for the third game in a row, they were without their best player, Mariah Martin, who is still nursing a high ankle sprain and will be out for a couple of weeks with Regis. On the other side with Regis, they also suffered a loss. The Rangers lost to Westminster 69-64. It's the Rangers' sixth loss of the season. The Trailblazers now sit at 8-6 overall and 4-6 in the RMAC, and the Rangers sit at 9-6 overall and 5-5 in the RMAC. Besides the fact that the Trailblazers, were without their best player, Mariah Martin, the shooting for the team was not up to par. The team shot on the floor 21 of 56 and 6 of 22 from the three-point line against Colorado Christian last night. The worst shooting of the night for the team this season. I mentioned it yesterday on my pregame show that I thought the team should try to do some more should move the ball better, try backdoor cuts, try to get in the paint, and then try to kick it out for a three-point shot. The Trailblazers did try to do this. It just did not equal up at the end of the night. The bad shooting came back to bite them, and Colorado Christian just took after that. The floodgates opened. The Colorado Christian were up as much as 13, and the Trailblazers were able to cut it back down to 4, but could never get that momentum to take it over the top and try to get that lead that they've been so desperately fighting for the whole night. They were actually leading the game 8-2 at one point, and Colorado Christian just fought back at the early part of the game and took over and did not let the lead up. They held that into the first part of the quarter. They led that into the second, and after the second quarter into halftime. They led at the end of the third quarter, and finally won the game at the end of the fourth quarter. It marks the sixth loss of the season for the Trailblazers. They sit 8-6 overall, 4-6 in the RMAC. They are at a 400% on the year. Basically, they're 400 out of 1,000%. On the season. They sit at 8th in the RMAC standings, 8 out of 12 teams. Not the start that Coach J.D. Gusson wanted to for the first season in the RMAC. A good overall record. They were at 500 this time last year. 2 games over 500 is a good start overall, but 4-6 in the RMAC, 2 games under 500 in your conference standings is not the way you want to go into, especially since the next month you have a whole lot of home games, and next month is the most important month because after that, the seeding for the RMAC tournament is going to determine where you're going to play and who you're going to play, and that can really come back to bite teams in the butt if they match up with some other teams that they already played this season and teams that beat them, and then there's going to be a whole rough road for them to go up ahead in the RMAC tournament. The Lady Rangers, who lost to the best team in the RMAC conference, the Westminster Griffins, in a quite close game. The Rangers and the Griffins went back and forth with the lead all night. But much like when the Lady Trailblazers went up there earlier in the season against Westminster earlier in the season, the Rangers could not close the door on the Griffins and let Westminster back in the game and walked away with the win. The Rangers shot 22 of 63 from the floor, 12 of 34 from the three-point line, and 8 of 12 from the free throw line. With this loss, it puts the Rangers in a spot where wins in the conference are starting to become more important than ever. They are 9-6 overall, but 5-5 in the conference play. Like the Trailblazers of Dixie State with the women's team, wins in the RMAC are going to become more important with more home games coming on the schedule for them in the month of February as well. if they don't rack up wins, if they don't try to get those top 5 seeds in the RMAC standings, they're going to have a tough time trying to get through the RMAC tournament and try to win the tournament and get that automatic bid into the NCAA Division II tournament. It will put them in a tight spot. We're going to take 1 minute timeout right here. When we come back, we're going to talk about some keys to the game. I'm going to give you the starting lineups, and the game will start right after that. The game tip-off is at 3 o'clock. All that is coming up here on Radio Dixie 91.3, the Trailblazer Nation.
3. It's back to the action for DSU Athletics, brought to you by Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln. We now return you to Dixie State Athletics.
Welcome back to Radio Dixie 91.3, home of the Trailblazers all season long. I thank you for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we're going to have a great matchup tonight. This afternoon. Dixie State University Lady Trailblazers go up against Regis University and the Lady Rangers. They are in Regis today at the Flex Fieldhouse today. It's going to be a good one there, of course, always. Now, of course, some keys of the game for both teams as we have just about 5 minutes until tip-off here. Some keys of the game for both teams both teams will fall with both teams to try to win more. I'm fumbling my words here. Just try to win more games. More specifically, will be for the Trailblazers. Of course, they're 4-6 in the RMAC. I did mention that earlier. The Rangers of Regis are 5-5 in the RMAC. Both teams really need to try to get more wins in the conference. And shooting wise, these specifically for the Trailblazers, the shooting wise needs to be better. They have not been shooting well in the last few games. They did get away with it last week when they went up against MSU Denver and Chadron State. They blew Chadron State out of the water by 31, the biggest win of the season for them. But MSU Denver was a little bit closer. They only won that game by 7, and those were 2 good back-to-back wins for the team this season. Their best 2 back-to-back winning games this season, I believe. After they went 3-0 to begin with, they're now sitting 8-6. Since then, they've gone 5-6 since that stretch, and it's just not. It will look good. I'll tell you this: the schedule coming up looks in favor for the Dixie State, but I believe when it comes to the Trailblazers trying to get wins, I mean, the month of February is going to be favored to them. They have a lot of home games coming up. If they use that to their advantage, I think the Dixie State Trailblazers will finish in the top 5, and we'll get one of those good seeds, and we'll be able to compete in the RMAC tournament fairly well. With the Lady Rangers, it's the same thing. Home game is going to be the same thing, winning conference games, but also home court is sacred. When it comes to winning home games on the road, it's always a good thing for a team like that, for Dixie State to go out and steal one. But if you're a home team, home court is sacred. You do not let anybody come into your building, into your practice arena, into your gyms, into your training facilities, into anything, and you don't let them come out with a win. You try to give them the business. You tell them, no, you're not coming in here stealing a win from us. We're going to win this game. We're going to take charge. We're going to prove why we're one of the best teams in this conference, and we're going to prove it tonight, or in this case, this afternoon. So always a good thing for both teams to come up with. Let's get you some starting lineups here. For Dixie State first, at point guard will be Rochelle Blazard again tonight. She has started the last 3 games at the point guard position. She'll be joined by Kelsey Stevenson on the shooting guard position there. Lisa Van Kapen will be the starting center for this team. And the 2 forwards to tonight's team, Allie Franks will start at the small forward position, and Morgan Myers will be the power forward. For the Regis Lady Rangers, starting at the shooting guard position will be Emma Starko. She'll be the starting point guard for this team. Ellie Walters will be the starting shooting guard. Number 30, Jasmine Snipers, will be the starting small forward. Tamira Brinka will be the starting center, and Natalia Hall will be your starting power forward. We just have about 2 minutes here left to go here in this pregame show before we get this game all started up here. Again, we will have the Lady Rangers and the Lady Trailblazers of Dixie State and Regis just coming up at the top of the hour. Stick around for after that. At the 5 o'clock hour, we'll have the men's game on as well. The men's team did fairly well last night. We'll tell you about that all coming up on that pregame show right after this game. But, of course, give my pick of this game. I'm going to just pick Dixie State. I always pick Dixie State, but I think Dixie State has a favorable chance today. They're in the all-black. They're undefeated when they wear the all-black this season so far. I think that'll give them a little bit of an edge. I think they're going to be more fresh today than they were yesterday. It was a long trip up to Colorado. Today, I think they got some more sleep. They're more well-rested. I think Coach J.D. Gustin's going to have a better game plan. Yesterday's shooting only 6 of 22 is not the way you want to start a road trip, especially when this is the second game of 4. Next weekend, they will be on the road again. We'll get into more of that during the halftime show and the postgame show of their upcoming schedule. But it is going to be a tough stretch for this team. Will they be able to fight back? Will they be able to get some good wins? I believe so. This afternoon is the day they'll start to get some good wins, and they will prove that this team is good. We're going to get this thing underway in just a couple minutes. Tip-off will start here as both teams will announce their starting lineups in the building. But I do welcome everybody who is just tuning in right now. I do welcome everybody who was tuning in last night. What we had was some great games on last night. Colorado Christian and Dixie State went up against each other both in the men's and women's. And today I think we're going to have ourselves another great game this afternoon.
It's back to the action for DSU Athletics, brought to you by Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln. We now return you to Dixie State Athletics.
Welcome back into Radio Dixie 91.3. We are still about to get this game underway. I do appreciate everybody tuning in. If you're just tuning in, we're going to have a great one today. The Lady Trailblazers of Dixie State and the Lady Rangers of Regis University are just about to get underway. As I did come back from break just a little bit early, they're still playing the national anthem, starting to get things ready here as we go. We'll continue to mumble on here just a little bit as I try to get everything gathered up here in the studio for this good one. Both teams are ready and good and go. They play the national anthem. They got everything ready. All the judges are ready. Judges. Officials, the refs are all ready for them. They're going to announce the starting lineups here. Of course, this is going to be a good one. I did mention all the starting as both teams are starting to get their lineups ready. Of course, Molly Martin is the head basketball coach for the Lady Rangers of Regis University. Again, they come into this game 9-6 on the year and 5-5 in the RMAC. That's good for just 6th in the RMAC standings so far in the season. And Dixie State, they come in this game 10th in the standings of 15 teams. Definitely not the way you want to start this season. Obviously, Coach J.D. Gustin is going to have to be concerned about the fact that this team has not gone off to a very good start this season. Definitely want to make some changes going into this road trip. I did mention that before. They're going to be on the road this weekend, and they'll be on the road next weekend. They're going to be in Colorado again to face against Colorado Mesa and Western Colorado. So they're eating up their Colorado road trip this season so far early in the months of January. I did wish they would have done their home games more often in this month of January instead of the month of February. There is a lot of baseball and softball to go on in the month of February. So Dixie State and Radio Dixie at one point, they're going to be busy with calling a lot of games and trying to get everybody caught up with the whole season coming along. Of course, after that, in the month of March, the basketball team is still playing. We're going to be broadcasting those games. Baseball and softball will still be going on, and they'll go on and continue into the month of April and May. We'll have all those games as well. And if the team reaches the postseasons, we'll have those games as well. Obviously, we're going to have all those games on Radio Dixie at 1.3. I do appreciate all the sports fans listening in here as both teams are starting to announce their starting lineups and get ready for this game. As I mentioned that before, as I keep just mumbling on here, as all the teams here, they're just still not getting ready. There's about 5 minutes and 3 o'clock hour, and they're still not playing. Oh, this is driving me nuts. As now we are ready. Sorry about that. Trying to make sure everything's all good and well. As I see it, you will listen to it. Dixie State looks to be going from left to right. Regis will be going from right to left. Dixie State will be going to the left side of the court. Regis will be going to the right side of the court. If you hear it, I am watching it. I'll give it right back to you guys here. 10 minutes have been put on the clock. 30 seconds are on the shot clock. Both teams are sitting at 0. Who's going to come out with the win? We'll see about that just here in a couple minutes. Lisa Van Capen will take the jump ball. As Regis will take it up, and they will start on their own side. Emma Starko will be the starting point guard, and she'll just hand it back off to Ellie Walters. Back to Sturtle, back to Walters. Walters at the top of the key. We'll get a little screen there. She'll drive it all the way to the basket, and it's good. 2-0 is the early lead for Regis. As Rochelle Blaser will bring it down the court herself. She'll give it out to Morgan Myers. Back to Van Cave, and she'll be at the top of the key. Over to Kelsey Stevenson back to Van Capen, back to Blazer. She's on the free throw line there. Trying to give it off back to Allie Franks. Franks will try to get a screen from Rochelle Blazer. She'll go over it on the left side. Passes it back out. Rochelle Blazer on the three-point line. She'll drive it all the way to the basket, and that is good as well. We are tied up here early in this point, 2-2, with just 9 minutes left to go here in this first quarter. Quick start by both teams. These are two fast-paced teams. As Walters drives up a three, it is no good, but rebounded by Regis, and it went out of bounds, and it was go back to Dixie State. It went off of Alex Nelson, the starting small forward for this team. And will give it back to Dixie State as Rochelle Blazer will bring it up. She'll give it off to Stevenson, back to Van Capen. Over to Amy Franks. She's on the three-point free throw line. Back to Blazer. She's on the three-point line as well. Stevenson on the free throw line. She has the ball herself. Looking around, gives it to Franks. Takes a three on the right side. No good. Rebounded by Regis. Game is moving very quickly here. Nelson gives it back out to Walters. Walters on the top of the three-point line. Gets a screen there. Back over to Nelson. Nelson takes a three, and it's good. 5-2 is the early lead. Nelson with her first three-pointer of the night. Blazer will bring it down herself. Gives it on to Franks. Back to Blazer off a screen. Almost loses it there. Stevenson, she's on the three-point line. No. Van Capen has the ball on the free throw line. She's looking to drive it. Looking around, drives it herself, does a little spin move, up and no good. Rebounded by Regis. Ball is moving very quickly. Sturkel will get herself over to Walters. Walters will drive it. No, she'll give it off. Sturkel will get in the middle. No, she won't. She keeps the rebound herself, goes back up, and it's good. Timeout is taken early there here by Dixie State with 7:50 left to go here. Regis is leading this game 7-2. We're going to take a quick 30-second timeout right here and be right back with more on the Trailblazer Nation.
It's back to the action for DSU Athletics, brought to you by Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln. We now return you to Dixie State Athletics.
Welcome back to Radio Dixie 91.3. We are here in the early stages of Regis Rangers versus Dixie State Trailblazers. The women's game is first. We'll have the men's game on later this afternoon. Regis is leading Dixie State so far 7-2 with just 7:50 left to go here in this game. Dixie State did take a timeout after missing their last three shots of this afternoon. We'll see what Dixie State does themselves. Blazer will bring herself up. She'll get in the middle of the court. She'll try to drive it, and there will be a charging call called against Rochelle Blazer. They'll give it right back off to Regis here as they'll take it out of the inbound play. Sturkel will give it off to Walters. Over to Jacobs. No, it will go in and out of the hands of Jacobs there, and they'll give it right back to Dixie State. Again, I did mention these two teams are a little bit of a fast pace, moving the ball around. They're going to be up and down the court. There's no slowing down here. We'll see how fast these teams will go. Maddie Loftus gets the ball herself. She'll check into the game. Loftus up with an in and out, and good. 7-4 is the lead for Regis. 7:15 left to go here in the first. Walters will lead the team down. She'll just take a simple three, and it's up. No good. Rebounded by Lisa Van Capen. She'll give it off to Loftus again. Loftus will bring it up. Back over to Van Capen on the top of the key. Van Capen looking around. Gives it off to Franks. Franks give it off to Stevenson. Stevenson still looking around. Back to Van Capen on the top of the key. Over to Loftus. She's on the free throw line. She'll try to just drive it herself, and their foul will be called there. Maddie Loftus looks like she'll go to the free throw line. First foul call there is on Alex Nelson. That'll be her first foul of this afternoon. Regis will go to their bench. Maddie Loftus 0 for 1 on the free throw line this afternoon. Number 33, Majestai Robinson will check into the game. And number 31, Shelby Esposito will check into the game as well for Regis. Maddie Loftus up with her second free throw. No, it is no good as well. Lead still stays at 7-3 as Robinson will bring it down for Regis. Loftus all over Robinson. Over to Walters. Walters getting guarded by Morgan Myers. Loftus strips it away from Morgan Myers and will go with the basket. Stevenson will take a three. No, it is in and out. Rebounded by Regis. Taken up by Walters by Regis. Regis trying to drive it. Gives it back to Nelson. Back to Walters. Sets it all up. Loftus all over her. Drives it. No, almost loses it there for a second. Robinson will get it herself. Back to Walters. Takes a three. No good there. Rebounded by Dixie State. Loftus will bring it down for Dixie State. Back over to Stevenson. Back to Loftus. Loftus looking for a screen. No, she'll give it out to Morgan Myers. Over to Loftus. She was trying to connect, and no, it will go out of bounds. They said it went off of Regis, specifically Robinson, and it will stay with Dixie State. If you're just tuning in, Dixie State, this is one of their 2 road trip games this weekend. They lost to Colorado Christian last night, 76-61. With Regis, this will be their second home game of this weekend. They lost to Westminster last night, 69-64. Both teams are sitting in the middle of the RMAC trying to get it together there as Allie Franks will just airball a 3 there, and it'll go right back to Regis. The lead still stays at 7-4 with 5:40 left to go here in this first. Robinson will bring it down. She'll get a little screen there by Walters. Over to Nelson. Back to Robinson. Hall will get it herself. Back to Nelson. Nelson's going to drive it all the way to the basket. No, she'll get blocked by Morgan Myers, and it will stay with Regis there. No foul was called. A good block there by Morgan Myers to swat it out of the way and keep the lead at 7-4. Regis will inbound the play. Over to Robinson. Robinson thinking about taking the 3. No, she'll decide no. She'll just throw it out of bounds. She was trying to connect with Sturko there on the 3-point line. It did not work. They'll give it right back to Dixie State. 7-4 is still the lead here for Regis. Loftus will give it out to Franks. Back over to Van Capen. She's on the free throw line. Tries to get off to Morgan Myers. Back to Van Capen. She's on the 3-point line. Over to Loftus. Back to Van Capen. Back to London Paviga, who checks into the game now. Paviga will just drive it all the way. No, she tried to get it off to Van Capen. They're just scrambling on the floor, and a jump ball will be called. And it will stay with Dixie State. Inbound play is coming up for Dixie State. Regis will go to their bench. I'll get those names to you as fast as I can as I'm looking at the roster here. Dixie State gets an inbound play. London Paviga try to go up. No, it was blocked out of the way. No, it's still not blocked. No foul was called. She got blocked twice at the bucket and was not allowed to get one up. No foul was called there. J.D. Gustin looking for a foul there as there was none called. Regis trying to get a shot up. No, Robinson tried to get it up. Will be a jump ball called again. Jump ball will be called again. J.D. Gustin storming up and down the sideline, furious that there was no foul call there on the last possession for Dixie State. Regis tries to get it in. They do. Jacob tries to drive it all the way to the basket. No, she'll get called for it. Up and down. Dixie State will keep the ball themselves. Loftus brings it up, gives it off to Paviga. Over to Franks. She tries to get it up, and no, but almost rebounded by Van Capen. Back over to Dixie, back over to Regis. The lead is still 7-4. Turnover there by Morgan Myers. Regis on a 2-and-1. Paviga gets it up, and it's good. Dixie State takes advantage of the Morgan Myers turnover with a 2-on-1 matchup and will cut the lead down to just 1. 7-6 is Regis' lead with 4 minutes left to go here. Robinson tries to drive it herself. Back over to Whitney. Herco has it. She'll take a 3. No good. Go out of bounds, and it will stay with. It will go with Dixie State. We have reached. I thought there was immediate timeout. There will not be. There is substitutions coming in as Ali Franks will check out Maddie Loftus and Morgan Myers. As just Morgan Myers will check into the game. Ali Franks goes there for a breather to the bench. Stevenson will give it back off to Loftus. Loftus looking around. Gives it back to Paviga. Back over to Loftus. She's on top of the key. Morgan Myers now has it out. She's on the free throw line. Stevenson has a 3-point shot. It's taken and it's good. Dixie State will take the lead for the first time this afternoon. 9-7 is the lead with 3:30 left to go here in the first quarter. Good movement of the ball there. Everybody got a touch there before the ball was shot. Stevenson gets a clean look at the 3-point shot and just drilled it. That's her first 3-point shot of the night. Regis looking to take the lead. They're now trailing this game by 2. Robinson goes in and up. No good. Rebounded by Stevenson. Gives it off to Loftus. Loftus always loses there for a second. Loftus looking around. Gets a little screen there by Stevenson. And a foul will be called on a moving screen there by Dixie State. Kelsey Stevenson will get called for her first foul there. It was a little bit of a illegal screen there. Not a bad call there by the officials. Just not good timing there as Dixie State was trying to make their lead even bigger. It stays at 2. Dixie State tries to drive it. Regis, Nelson has it. Back over to Walters. Walters going to try to drive it all the way to the basket. No, it will turn over there. But there's going to be a foul. It will stay on the floor. It will stay with Regis. Regis gets an inbound play. Over to Robinson. She'll take a 3. No. Rebounded there. It looks like it will go to Dixie State as it went out of bounds. Dixie State going to try to pad their lead up even more as they lead this game just by 2. 9-7 with 2:48 left to go here. Loftus will bring it down. She gets a screen by Stevenson. Drives it all the way to the basket, and it's good. And a foul is called as well. It'll be an and 1 from the free throw line. A good way for Dixie State to bounce back after yesterday. They had a fairly good day from the free throw line. They were 8 of 11. They were 8 of 11 from the free throw line, though Loftus is 0 for 2 on the day and make that 0 for 3. 11-7 is the lead. 4-point lead for Dixie State. 2:30 left to go here on the day. Robinson will take another open 3, and it's good. She missed her first, but she'll make Dixie State pay for that one. She drilled it all the way down. As there seems to be a conversation going on. It looks like there will be a immediate timeout. Not sure what is going on here as the officials are speaking between each other. More specifically, I think they're going to look at the three-point shot to see whether it was a 3 or a 2. Robinson did look like she had most of her feet behind the line there. Both J.D. Gustin and Molly Martin are talking to their teams about a game plan to come out of that one as the officials look at the shot to determine whether it was a 2 or a 3. As I get a good look at it, it looks like there was about maybe a toe or 2 on the line. Really, it does not look like it's enough to overcall that ruling. And it looks like it will stay as a 3 unless the officials see something I don't see. They're giving us a good look at this three-point shot. It looks very significantly like she may have had a toe or 2 on the line as she was taking a shot. Remember, the rule is that you have to have both feet behind the line for it to be a very clear three-point shot. If there's any toes on the line or past the line, it is considered a 2. Both officials are still discussing, and it looks like it's going to stay as a 3. It will count there, and it will stay 11-10. Dixie State's lead with just one point between the teams. There's 2:20 left to go here as Loftus will bring it back down for Dixie State. Gives it on to Pavica. Over to Mallory Richardson, who checks into the game for the first time. Back over to Loftus on the three-point line. Pavica has it on the free throw line. She'll just drive it all the way to the basket. No good. Rebounded by Regis. Regis will bring it up themselves. Nelson gives it back out to the Walters. Walters gets the screen by Nelson. It won't work. Nelson going to just drive it. Now she gives it over to Hall. Almost turned it over there. Recovered back by Regis. Almost turned it over there again. Nelson will give it back off. Robinson trying to drive it all the way to the basket. She'll give it off to Nelson again, and it's good. The ball was moving all over the place. Dixie State could not get a read on it, and Regis takes the lead back with a 12-11 lead with just 1:30 left to go here in this first quarter. Richardson has the ball on the left side of 3. Back over to Allie Franks. Over to Pavica in the middle of the paint. Pavica will lose it for a second there. The ball will go out of bounds, and it will stay with Dixie State. Molly Martin, the head coach of Regis, arguing for the call to be over to Regis, not over to Dixie State. The officials are telling her no, it went on for Regis, and will stay there with Dixie State. Michelle Blaser checks into the game now. Lisa Van Capen checks into the game now for Dixie State. Franks gives it back up to Loftus. Loftus will drive it all the way to the basket. And a foul will be called. It will be a charging foul against Manny Loftus. Out here second of the afternoon so far. 1:20 left to go here in this one as Regis still leads it by 1. Nelson looking at the free throw line. She's on the three-point line, getting guarded by Rochelle Blazard. She'll just fly by right by Blazard and gives out to Robinson. She'll get an easy 2-point there. Regis now makes it up to 3. 14-11. 58 seconds left to go in this game and counting. Blazard will get a screen by Franks. Over back to Franks on the three-point line. Over to Van Capen. Van Capen going to try to drive it all the way to the basket. No, it won't be good. Rebounded by Robinson. Regis will bring it down. 40 seconds left to go here. They're going to try to eat some clock here. And there will be a traveling call there against Regis, and they'll give it back to Dixie State. The shot clock is turned off. 29 seconds left to go. Specifically, 29.3 seconds are left to go here. Coach J.D. Gustin telling them to hang on for the last shot here. Don't give them anything. 20 seconds are left on this shot clock. Blazard brings it up slowly. She's just waiting around. It looks like she'll get her own little ISO play there. Van Capen waiting for a screen, just in case. 10 seconds are left to go on this shot clock. 9, 8. Blazard makes a move now. She'll try to get a screen over by Van Capen. No, Van Capen still on the three-point line. No, Loftus will take a shot at 2 seconds. No, it won't be good, and Regis will keep the lead at 14-11 at the end of this first quarter. Regis with their biggest lead of the afternoon. We're going to take a quick 60-second timeout here and be right back with more on Radio Dixie 91.3, Trailblazer Nation.
It's back to the action for DSU Athletics, brought to you by Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln. We now return you to Dixie State Athletics.
Welcome back to Radio Dixie 91.3. To recap that first half there, both teams shot the ball fairly even. They weren't specifically the better team when it came to shooting. Both teams shot the ball just under 40%. More specifically for Regis, they shot the ball 39%, and Dixie State shot the ball 37.8% in that one. We'll get more stats as it comes in here, but Regis will take the first possession of the ball here to start off the second quarter. Robinson on the three-point line. She'll take another 3, and it's good. Regis will take the lead up to 6. The biggest lead of this afternoon. Franks will keep it herself. She'll try to go to the free throw line. No, she'll stickle around. Kelsey Stevenson will get it herself. She'll try to drive it. No, back over to Van Capen. She'll drive it all the way to the basket, and it's good. 17-13 is the lead with just 9 minutes left to go here in this second quarter. A fairly fast start for both teams as they get their first 2 buckets of this quarter in good. Robinson gives it off to Herco. She'll get a screen there. She'll take a 3. No good. Almost there, taken by Regis, and it will go back to Dixie State. Number 40, Tamara Brinka will check into the game for Regis, and Morgan Myers will check into the game for Dixie State. Van Caven has it on the three-point line in the middle of the key. Franks has it on the free throw line now. She's on the left side of it. Van Caven will get a three-point shot on the left side of the 3, and it's good. A clean shot there. A screen also provided by Maddie Loftus, and now cuts the lead down just to 1 with 8:18 left to go here in this second quarter. Robinson going to try to drive it all the way to the basket again. No, gives it off to Herkel. Back over to Nelson. Nelson going to try to drive it herself. No, over to Brinka. Brinka on the three-point line. She'll try to drive it all the way, and it's good. They say the shot will not count. It will stay on the floor. This almost simultaneously happened against Dixie State last night as Colorado Christian did not take a free throw shot all the way until the end of the third quarter into the fourth quarter. By then, they had the game just about wrapped up by then. Did not need the free throws. It looks like this will be a repeat of that as well, as Regis will get 1 bucket in there. Herco will get the credit for that one. It'll make it 19-16 as Dixie State brings it down. Franks all the way in the middle. She does a little Euro step. No, it won't go in. Regis will get the rebound. Robinson will bring it down. Gets a little screen there. Tries to get over the screen. She tries to drive it out of the basket. No, gives it back to Nelson. Walters tries to drive it herself. No, back over to Robinson. She'll take a 3. No, in and out. Rebounded by Maddie Loftus of Dixie State. She'll bring it back down. Loftus is going to take a 3, and it's good. 19-19, the first time this game has all been tied up this afternoon. 7 minutes left to go here in this second. Robinson will try to drive it over to Nelson, and there will be a foul called. Nelson fell to the ground. The ball went right by her, and a foul will be called. As subs will come in, London Pavigo will check in for Rochelle Blazard. J.D. Gustin talking with the refs, explaining why that was not a foul call, but they're telling him, yes, it was. Nelson looking around. Tries to get a little screen there. She'll drive it all the way to the basket, and it's good. 21-19 is the lead. 6:43 left to go here in the second. Loftus will get a screen there. No, she won't take it. Back over to Franks. Stevenson will get a screen there. She'll try to take a little jumper, and it's good. 21-21. The game is all tied up yet again. 6:20 left to go here in the second. Regis will try to get a screen there. No, a turnover there. Allie Franks will just drive it all the way to the basket, and it's good. A simple, easy layup, and Dixie State will take the lead right back. That is the second lead. That is the second time that Dixie State has the lead this afternoon. Nelson tries to drive it off. No, she'll give it back to Walters. Back over to Nelson. Nelson trying to get away from London Pavica. It's not working. Pavica all over her. The ball is still moving around. Herkel will take a three, and it's good. 24-23 is the lead. She had a hand in her face, and she still took the shot and drilled it. 5:30 left to go here in this second. Loftus sizing up. She'll take a three, and it's good. 1-3 after another. Regis shoots a three, and Dixie State says, no, we're going to match you with the three as well. Dixie State leads it 26-24 with 5:20 left to go here in the second. Nelson over to Walters on the three-point line. No, she won't take it. She'll try to drive it. No foul call there. Van Capen will get the rebound. Loftus will take another three, and it's good. Back-to-back threes by Loftus. 29-24 as Regis will take a timeout there. Maddie Loftus with the last 8 points for Dixie State to make it 29-24, their largest lead of this afternoon. We're going to take a quick 30-second timeout here on Radio Dixie 91.3, home of the Trailblazer Nation.
It's back to the action for DSU Athletics, brought to you by Ken Garff, St. George Ford Lincoln. We now return you to Dixie State Athletics.
Welcome back to Radio Dixie 91.3 as both teams are just coming out of the timeout here. If you're just tuning in, Dixie State is leading Regis up in Regis Fieldhouse here in Denver, Colorado. They're leading 29-24 with just 5 minutes and 2 seconds left to go here in this second period. Dixie State has their largest lead of this afternoon with just 5 minutes left to go here until halftime. Nelson tries to bring it up herself. Back over to Walters. Walters on the left side of the three-point line. No, she'll go back to the top of the ski. Gets a screen there by Herkel. She will not take it. She'll try to do a little couple moves there. Can't get away from London Pavica. Dixie State stepping up their man-to-man defense. Nelson will try to shoot it up. No. Still a scramble on the floor, and a foul will be called against, it looks like, Regis. Looks like against number 21, Emma Sturkel. She'll get called for her second foul this afternoon. Dixie State will get it. Maddie Loftus will bring it up. Loftus gives it out to Mallory Richardson, who just checked into the game. Back over to Franks. Back over to Loftus. Over to Pavica. She'll not take the three. She'll just drive it to the basket. She gets it up and in, move, and it's good. 31-24. The lead is now 7 with 4:19 left to go here in this second. They're extending their lead now. This is the largest lead for Dixie State. Pavica all over Nelson. Over to Herkel. Over to Walters. Walters trying to get away from Kelsey Stevenson. She can't. She'll just do a little in and out move. No, it is no good. Rebounded there by Dixie State. And a foul will be called again against Regis. It is against number 1, Alex Nelson. That'll be her first of this afternoon. Subs are coming in, it looks like, for Regis. I'll get those names as fast as I can. Franks will inbound it to Maddie Loftus. Loftus will bring it up. She'll give it on to Mallory Richardson on the three-point line. Back over to Franks. Franks is going to just try to drive it in. It's good. 33-24, 3:49 left to go here in this second. I do remind you guys, we'll have the Dixie State halftime show coming up here just in a couple minutes. We'll catch you up on everything that's going on around the RMAC and more. Regis will take a three there, and it's good. Whitney Jacob will get her first three-pointer shot of this afternoon, and it will cut the lead down to 5. 33-27 is the lead. Allie Franks almost loses the ball there, but a foul will be called. It'll be against number 31, Shelby Espinoza. That'll be her first foul of this afternoon. Walters checks out of the game. McKenna Bishop checks in for her. Palvigo will get it on the inbound. Palvigo on the left side of the three. No, she'll get a screen there by Allie Franks. No, she'll go back to her left side. Drives it all the way to the basket. Gives it to Mallory Richardson. No, she'll miss. Richardson battling for a rebound. Espinoza will get it for Regis. Both bigs went up for the ball. They could not come down with it. Espinoza got it in at the end. Robinson will come into the game now. She'll try to take a three. No, she'll think twice about it. Gives it off to Walters. Walters will take a three. No, it is no good. Rebounded there by Regis. Back over to Robinson. Back over to what? And a foul will be called. Not sure who the foul is on. It looks like it's on London Palvico, where Lisa Van Capen will now check in for Mallory Richardson. Looks like there's a little bit confusion at the scorers table. I'm not sure if there's a confusion with the score or with the time. And it looks like they got it sorted out. No issues there. Robinson will give it off to Hill. Back over to Robinson. Robinson going to try to get a shot there. No, she'll give it back off to Hill. Hill going to try to drive it. No. Back out to Espinoza. Back over to Hill. Hill trying to get around. No, she'll get it out to Jamichael Snipes. Snipes will try to drive it. No, she'll lose the ball. London Palvigo will get it up with the turnover there. She has a 3-on-1. She tries to no. Back over to Loftus on the three-point line. Loftus will take another three. No good. Rebounded there by Dixie State. Robinson almost loses it there. 33-27, 2:12 left to go here in this one. Robinson trying to get a little screen there. No. Gives it off to Espinoza. Espinoza will go up. No good. Rebounded there by Allie Franks. Ball is moving up very quickly. Loftus will bring it up. Loftus loses it there. Espinoza with the rebound. With the turnover there. She has an open lanes all the way to the basket. And no, she misses it. Rebounded there by Jamichael. And she'll get it up. She did not miss that one. Espinoza missed an easy layup there, but Jamichael Snipes got the rebound and put it back up. 33-29 is the lead for Dixie State. Back over to Loftus. Back over to Van Capen. She's in the middle of the paint. She'll get it up, an easy layup there and puts the lead back to 7. 35-29. 1:14 left to go. Robinson gets a little screen there by Espinoza. Espinoza will drive it all the way to the basket. And a blocking foul will be called. Lisa Van Capen will get called for the blocking call. Cameron Mooney is checking at the scores table, looking to go in. Also, Rochelle Blanchard is looking at the scores table. She's going to get called in after these two shots. This will be the first two shots of the afternoon for Regis. Espinoza with the shot. It's good. 1 for 1 at the line this afternoon. The lead is now back down to 5. It was at 6. Van Capen and Loftus will check out of the game. Espinoza lines up for her second free throw. And it's good. 35-31, 4-point lead with 1:03 left to go here. Blanchard gives it on to Franks. Rochelle Regis throws out their full trap court. No. Nelson and Walters checks into the game now. Back over to Blanchard. She's on the left side of 3. Now she's at the top of the key. Over to Palvigo on the 3-point line. Palvigo, no. Gives it on to Franks. She'll drive it out. No. Back over to Stevenson for a 3, and it's good. Stevenson's second 3-point shot of the afternoon. That gives her 6 points on the afternoon. 38-31, 33 seconds left to go here. 5 seconds differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Robinson looking for a good shot. She'll try to drive it. No. Back over to Espinoza for a 3-point shot. No. In and out. Rebounded by London Palvigo. Palvigo will bring it up. 18 seconds left to go. Shot clock is turned off. Over to Stevenson. Back to Palvigo. Gets a screen there by Cameron Moody. Palvigo trying to drive it. No. She'll give it on back to Allie Franks. Allie Franks going to try to drive it. No. Gives it on to Cameron Moody, and a blocking foul will be called. Allie Franks will go to the line. There's 4.9 seconds left to go here on the game clock. Cameron Mooney had an easy shot layup there. And it looks like it was staying on the floor. It was not a shot. 4 seconds left to go here. Lasher trying to get it in. Gives out to Cameron Mooney. She loses it there. 3, 2, 1. Robinson trying to get it up. And was it good at the buzzer? They say it was. They're going to definitely look at it before we go to halftime. They're definitely going to look at this shot, but there's no doubt halftime has come upon us. It's just whether that shot was a 2, whether the shot went down or not. It looked really, really, really close. It looked like there was about 2/10 or 3/10 left to go on the clock as she shot it up. As long as the ball is out of her hand, the rule is if the ball is out of your hand before the game clock is at double zeros, then it counts. And look at it and a simple view of it, and it is good. 38-33 is Dixie State's lead going into halftime. Not a fairly large lead, but a lead that's good enough for them to build on into the second half. We're going to take a quick 2-minute timeout here on Radio Dixie 91.3. Be right back with the Dixie State Halftime Trailblazer Show here on Radio Dixie 91.3.
It's back to the action for DSU Athletics, brought to you by Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln. We now return you to Dixie State Athletics.
Welcome back to Radio Dixie 91.3. We have the Trailblazer Halftime Show for you. 15 minutes have been put on the clock. We are already at 13 minutes, so we got a long way to go with this halftime show. Obviously, I welcome you all in right now. If you're just tuning in, Dixie State is taking on Regis, and we have a good one out there in Denver, Colorado, as Dixie State leads it 38-31. A good game. This is a lot better than it was last night, though the game was a little bit closer at halftime. It was just separated of 7 points. Today, it is just a separation of 5 points. Looking at some of the stats here, field goal percentages for both teams are fairly well. Dixie State only shot 37% after the first quarter. After the second quarter, they shot 58% to end the half. They end this one on a 57% field goal percentage. Dixie State just skyrocketed after that. They took a lot better shots, more equal shots. They tried to get the ball into the paint, then kick it back out, then try to drive it back in. They made the right shots at the right moments, and it's worked out perfectly for Dixie State. On the other side with Regis, they're 13 of 31. They shot the ball 41%. They did shoot it after just one period. They shot the ball 38%, so they went up just a little bit, but definitely something that Dixie State was better at than Regis going into that first half. So the three-point shots. Obviously, a team like Dixie State lives and dies by the three-point shot. If the three-point shot is living, then they will stay alive in the game. If it is dead, they're going to try to jack up a lot of threes and just hope one of them goes down. And this afternoon, both shots have gone down definitely in this half. As Dixie State shot the ball they were 6 of 12 from the three-point shot. They were 50% from the three-point line. Maddie Loftus with just 3 of her shots were three-point shots. And Kelsey Stevenson made 2 shots, two of them from behind the three-point shot. She ended the half with 8 points. She leads the team. Both shooters who were shooting the ball better from the three-point line, Maddie Loftus and Kelsey Stevenson, came out firing. Kelsey Stevenson ended again with 2 shots of 3 from the three-point line and 3 of 5 for Maddie Loftus. She shot the ball 60%. Good numbers for both teams coming out of that half. Over to other numbers there from the free throw line. Dixie State was over 3. Maddie Loftus did take all 3 shots. She missed all of them. But Regis was 2 for 2 from that end. Whitney Jacob took both shots for Regis behind the stripe and were good from there. That did not play too much into a factor into this afternoon so far, but definitely something that Regis and Dixie State are going to want to clean up. Though Dixie State is keeping a lead of just 5, but something that's a little concerning to me is how Dixie State only has 11 rebounds on the board. Regis has 20, and 6 of those are from the offensive side of the ball. Dixie State has no offensive rebounds. When they jack it up, they're long, they're really short shots. They're not really missing a lot of their three-point shots. When those do go out, They're mostly rebounding, but the offensive rebounds need to get a little bit better of a standpoint if this game is going to want to just stay in the favor of Dixie State. Defensively, Dixie State has 11 rebounds on the defensive side, while Regis only has 14. I did mention the lead changes. They were big in this one, but the biggest point, I think the biggest turnaround for Dixie State is the bench points. There are 17 bench points for Dixie State and 12 for Regis. Those benches are coming alive today. Dixie State does have 5 steals in this one. They have 9 points off their turnovers. And points in the paint, Dixie State is doing a lot better job this afternoon. They have 18 points in the paint, plus 7 fast break points. Not a lot of movement there by Regis. Regis was really moving, trying to slow down the ball, trying to get it together. They did not want to just, get the ball turnover. They wanted to keep it on their side. Second chance points, though, are in favor of Regis. Again, they have 6 offensive rebounds there. They're getting the ball back. They're turning around. They're getting points off of it. They're not just going to let everybody go down. Personal fouls, that's not really a factor in this game as much, though Dixie State has 7 fouls while Regis has 6. We're going to take another 2-minute timeout here on Radio Dixie 91.3 and be right back with more.
It's back to the action for DSU Athletics, brought to you by Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln. We now return you to Dixie State Athletics.
Welcome back to Radio Dixie 91.3. Home of the Trailblazer Nation this all season long. All season long. We got a good one for you today. Regis and Dixie State, both the women's and men's basketball teams, are in action this afternoon. With the women's team taking action first, they lead it 38-33 with just about 7 minutes left to go here in this halftime show. The teams are getting back onto the court, getting ready for a little shoot-around, getting ready for this second half. But, of course, we're going to talk some more. If you're going to tune in later, the men's basketball team is going up against Regis in that one. And what a win it was for Dixie State last night. We'll get into more of it this afternoon. But Dixie State blew Colorado Christian out of the water last night, 84-48. Their largest win of this season. Matching their season high matching their biggest win high when they won against Chadron State. They blew them out of the water hugely the other last weekend. Just a good win all around for them, for that team. We'll get into more of that this afternoon. But of course, Dixie State and Regis are in action right now. Good start to this game for Dixie State. I thought they were going to try to just live and die by the 3-point ball. They have moved the ball around. They have started to get everybody involved. They got that sense of a sense of getting the ball around, moving the ball around, getting everybody involved, getting it's just been really, really good for them. They have not taken a lot of crazy shots. Most of their shots are coming into the paint. They are shooting a good percentage in the paint. For Dixie State, it has been a fairly good start to this game right here. As I keep fumbling my words here, I do apologize. Dixie State is coming out shooting really well. They're just proving that they got a lot of good ball movement. Their assist numbers this afternoon, they have 5 assists on the afternoon already, and 5 of those assists all came on shots. They're proving that they're going to move the ball around. They're proving they're going to share it. They're proving that they're going to make the shots better than they did yesterday. They did not have a good amount of shots yesterday that were really good. They were just jacking up threes. They were just trying to see what can stick and what cannot, and it did not work out for Dixie State as they lost yesterday. Today, they're doing the complete and total opposite. They're sharing the ball. They're moving the ball. They're getting ready for the shots. They're trying to get the right shots all around, and it's proven to be a good usage rate this afternoon. Both teams are just specifically Dixie State, they're getting a lot of good shots. To the side of the Rangers with Regis, they got some good assists as well. They're sharing the ball as well. In that first half, they had 8 assists, and 5 of those assists came on shots. They're going to share the ball more often. They're going to try to move the ball as much as they can, and they're not going to be afraid of trying to move it all around. They're going to show that they can shoot it. They're going to show that they can move it. They have a good amount of rebounds. Everybody is just within good numbers. Leading scorer for them is Whitney Jacobs, who has 10 points on the afternoon. They're just trying to share it as much as they can, and both teams are very shooting the ball really, 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 really well. For some second half adjustments before sending to one last break before we have to get this second half underway. I think Dixie State needs to stay with the formula they are staying. If they try to just keep it the way it is, I don't think there's need to be that much adjustments. But if they keep it the way it is, moving the ball around, sharing it all the way around, defensively, they're showing that they're going to be tough today. They're not allowing any easy shots. Every shot is being contested. Every shot is being looked at. There's not just something simple. They're trying to share the ball as much as they can. And I think that's going to be a good formula for them. For Regis, I think they have to take a lot better shots. They were trying to take a lot of individual shots, a lot of drive to the basket type shots, not really trying to get the right shots up. And when it came to that, it did not work for them at all. We're going to take one more last-minute timeout here on Radio Dixie 1.3. And when we be right back, we're going to have the start of this second half of the women's basketball game between Dixie State and Regis.
I want to thank my mommy for loving me so much, for taking me out to the park, for reading me books, for taking me to the doctor when I broke my foot in ballet rehearsal,
for leaving me alone when I wanted to be alone. And now,
as a grown-up, I'm thankful for being able to take care of you, my dear mom, for having the chance to take you to the park, for reading you those books we enjoy so much, for being able to take you to your therapies after you twisted your ankle, for understanding that sometimes you simply
back in action. Regis and Dixie State are back in action for the second half of the women's half. Dixie State leads at 38-35 there with 9:15 left to go here in this second half to start off with. Regis took a 2-point shot, and it was good. And now Regis is at the free throw line for the second time this afternoon, knocking down the first one. It's good. 38-36 is the lead now for Dixie State. Dixie State did miss one shot already in this half. 38-37 is the lead. 9:14 left to go here. And the second free throw went down. It's good. As Rochelle Blaser would try to get it over there to Kelsey Stevenson. It went out of bounds off of Regis, and it will stay with Dixie State. As Maddie Loftus would check in for Rochelle Blaser. Early change there by Coach J.D. Gustin to pull out his senior point guard. As Allie Franks will give it out to Lisa Van Capen. She'll try to drive it. No, she's at the free throw line. Back over to Stevenson. Back over to Van Capen. Maddie Loftus is going to get called for a traveling call there. And a timeout is going to be called early already. We're going to keep it here live. J.D. Gustin pulling the trigger on an early timeout. Pulled his point guard out early already. The senior point guard has been playing for Dixie State for a while there. The junior guard, Rochelle Blizzard, already pulled out as soon as she stepped into the third. And it looks like J.D. Gustin trying to get his team together. It looks like there's some little jitters going on in this already the start of the second half. 38-37 is the lead with 8:55 left to go here in this third quarter here. Regis was down by 5. It is now just by 1. Both teams come out of the timeout here. Franks, Myers, Van Capen, Stevenson, and Loftus are all out on the floor. Whitney, Jacob, Sturkle, Nelson, Walters, and Snipes are all on the floor for Regis. Urkel looking around. Little turnover there. Oh, no, but it got right back to her. She's going to take a three, and it's good. It was in around there for a second there. It went down. Regis now takes the lead with just 2, 40-38 here. Dixie State still without a bucket here in the second half. And they'll get a foul that stays on the floor. 8:29 left to go here. Still, Dixie State without a bucket to start this third quarter. Loftus will get it out of the inbound. Loftus looking around, gives it on to Morgan Myers. Morgan Myers will try to drive it. No, over to Van Capen, and it was turned over. Regis will get it out of this turnover. Morgan Myers goes to the bench. Halvaga now checks into the game. Regis brings it down. Urkel almost turned it over there, but he'll get it right back. Nelson will gather itself up. Gets a screen there. Takes a three. No good. Rebounded by London Halvaga. She'll bring it up. Over to Myers. Back over to Loftus. Van Capen. She's in the middle. She'll get called for a traveling call. Still, Dixie State without a bucket here in the start to start this second half. Sturkle gets a screen there by Espinosa. She'll take a three. No good. And there will be a foul called on the floor. It will go against Dixie State. Lisa Van Capen will get called for her first foul this afternoon. Espinosa will try to drive it all the way. She tries to get around Cameron Mooney, who just checked into the game, and she'll get called for a traveling, and it'll go right back over to Dixie State. Franks, Loftus, Mooney, Stevenson, and Halvaga are on the floor for Dixie State. Over to Stevenson. Tries to get it into Cameron Mooney. Mooney looking around. Another foul is called. Fouls are being traded back and forth between both teams. Dixie State, as I mentioned it over and over again, are still without a bucket to start this second half. Stevenson will get it back over to Halvaga. Halvaga will try to get a screen there. No. Over to Stevenson. She'll try to get it out. No, she got blocked. Over to Mooney. She'll get it up, and it's good. 40-40 is tied up here. Dixie State's first bucket of this afternoon. Robinson checks in for Regis. Robinson and Espinosa. Robinson trying to do a little dance moves there on Manny Loftus. She will not. Mooney trying to box up. She does. Halvaga over there by the free throw line. No, gives it off to Loftus for a three. No good. Rebounded there by Robinson for Regis. 40-40, 6:41 left to go here. Robinson brings it up. She slows down. She'll take a little mid-range jumper, and it's good. 42-40, and there's a foul called, and she'll go to the line for an and one. No, it will stay on the floor. 6:33 left to go here. 42-40, and the ball will just be turned over. Loftus will try to get up. No, she'll get her own rebound. Back over to Halvaga. Halvaga will try to drive it. No, back over to Loftus. Loftus is going to drive it all the way to the basket. She tried to give it to Cameron Mooney. It did not work. Over to Espinosa. She's looking around. She gets a screen there by Herkel. She'll try to get it up, and no good. Try to get it over to big Cameron Mooney. It did not work. Mooney trying to block her shot yet again. No, it is no good. Mooney over there with the rebound. Gives it back over to Loftus. Loftus waiting, letting it all set up. Give it over to Halvaga. Halvaga trying to drive it all the way to the basket. Gives it back over to Cameron Mooney. She'll get it up, and it's good. Cameron Mooney's second bucket of this afternoon. She ties it up yet again. 42 all with 5:40 left to go here in this third quarter. Loftus all over Robinson. Mooney will try to get another block shot. It won't work, and she'll get called for a foul. It will be an and one, and Regis takes the lead yet again, 44-42. Espinosa will go to the line. Cameron Mooney will check out, and Maddie Richardson will check into the game for her. Regis now going from right to left. Regis now going to the right side of the court while Dixie State is going to the left side. I do remember I did not mention it as I came out of the halftime break, but now I do. Kelsey Stevenson has it on the right side of the three. Loftus now has it on the free throw line. She's going to try to drive it all the way, but she got called for a foul. She'll go to the line for two. Robinson got called for her first foul of the afternoon. Loftus gets it up, and it's good. Regis goes to their bench. Nelson will check back into the game. Loftus Shoots it, and it's good. She's now 2 for 5 from the line. She's the only one who's taking free throw shots for Dixie State this afternoon. 45-44 is the lead for Regis. 5:13 left to go here in this third. Espinosa tries to drive all the way. No, she'll give it off to Nelson. Back over to Robinson. Robinson looking for a screen there. No, she won't get it. Franks is all over her. Robinson trying to get it out. She will. Takes a shot. No good. And just go out of bounds. Timeout is going to be called here by Regis to gather themselves up and get ready for this later part of the third quarter. We're going to take a quick 30-second timeout here on Radio Dixie 91.3. Be right back with more.
Okay, forest animals, kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow, have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. River, how's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man.
I love it. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. Okay. Squirrel.
The forest has been preparing just for you. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Dixie State Athletics, brought to you by Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln at 145 West Hilton Drive in St. George and at stgeorgeford.com. Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln, your neighborhood Ford dealer, and the title sponsor for all DSU athletics on Radio Dixie 91.3. It's back to the action for DSU Athletics, brought to you by Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln. We now return you to Dixie State Athletics.
Welcome back to Radio Dixie 91.3. We have a good one here as Regis leads it 45-44 over Dixie State here late in this third quarter. Dixie State will get it out of the inbound play, and Pavica will bring it up. She'll get a screen there by Morgan Myers. She'll get it on to Rochelle Blaster. She'll try to drive it all the way to the basket. Kicks it back out. And she'll get called for the traveling call. Rochelle Blaser will turn it over. Don't forget, we will have the men's basketball game right after this one. We'll give it into a little pregame show there and turn it right over to the men's game as Regis brings it down. Pavica all over Nelson. Nelson trying to get it out. Over to Robinson. Robinson tries to get it up. No, she got batted out of the way by Pavica. Michelle Blaser keeps it on the floor. Gives it off to Loftus. She has numbers 3-on-2. Gives it to Morgan Myers, and it's good with the basket. Gets an easy, simple layup there. It's 46-45 with 4 minutes left to go. Gives it off to Whitney, and she got called for the travel. Loftus got called for a foul, and Whitney Scott is taking free throw shots. She's good for her first one. Espinosa and Nelson checks into the game now. Walters. Scott for a second free throw. It's good. 47-46. 3:50 left to go here as Manny Loftus will bring it up. Gives out to Pavica. Back over to Mallory Richardson. Mallory tries to drive it in. No good. She'll try to get her own rebound. She won't get it. Regis will bring it up. She'll try to take a three. No good. Rebounded there by Dixie State. Morgan Myers will get credit for the rebound. Myers tries to drive it. And a foul will be called. And it looks like there will be a foul called against Dixie State as Lisa Van Cave will go to the scorer's table and try to check in. She'll check in for Mallory Richardson. Robinson will bring it up. Gets a little screen there. Hands it off to Nelson. Nelson going to take a three. No, it's no good. Rebounded there by Espinosa and Regis State. Back over to Nelson. Back over to Robinson. Robinson gets a screen there by Espinosa. She'll take a three. No good. Rebounded again by Espinosa of Regis. And there will be a foul call over the head Timeout is called by Dixie State. Dixie State is going to take a timeout, and we're going to get a 30-second timeout here on Radio Dixie 91.3. Be right back with more.
Is that a faucet running? That's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest. Forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink.
What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum.
That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest cleaning up the air we breathe.
I didn't know the trees were so amazing.
Yep, and the forest gives us shade, trees to climb.
That's awesome. Let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Dixie State Athletics, brought to you by Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln at 145 West Hilton Drive in St. George and at stgeorgeford.com. Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln, your neighborhood Ford dealer, and the title sponsor for all DSU athletics on Radio Dixie 91.3. It's back to the action for DSU Athletics, brought to you by Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln. We now return you to Dixie State Athletics.
Welcome back to Radio Dixie 91.3, home of the Trailblazers this season. As we come out here, we're just coming out of the timeout here as Dixie State tries to get as close as they can to Regis, who is now leaded by 3. 49-46 is the lead for Regis, and Dixie State will get it out of the timeout. 2:43 left to go here in this one. Palvigo will bring it up. Gives it off to Loftus. And a foul will be called. Loftus is going to go back to the line. And she's good on her second. She's good on her third one. She's now 3 for 6 from the line. She is the only one who has taken free throw shots for Dixie State all afternoon. And it's good again. 4 for 7 from the line today. Oh, it was a turnover there. And it's scramble on the floor, and it's taken up by Dixie State. Dixie State gets it up, and there was a foul called. Mad dash scramble all over the floor, and it will stay with Dixie State. London Palvigo will go to the line now. She'll take her first free throw shots of the afternoon. Dixie State only trails by 1, 49-48 with 2:20 left to go here in this one. Palvigo misses the first one. Mooney, Franks, Loftus, Myers, and Palvigo are all on the floor for Dixie State. Palvigo is good for her second one. 49-49. 2:26 left to go here in this one. Robinson brings it down. Gives off to Espinoza. Back over to Nelson. She loses it there for a second. Over to Espinoza again. Tries to give it to Robinson. Takes a shot. No good. Rebounded there by Nelson. Tries to get it back up. No, but a foul will be called. Foul against Cameron Mooney. That was her third foul of the afternoon. Ellie Nelson will take shots, and she misses her first one. Nelson lines up for her second free throw. It's not good. Rebound there by Dixie State. Allie Franks will get credit for it. Loftus will bring it down. Over to Morgan Myers. Myers will try to drive it. No, back to Franks. Franks will try to drive it. She'll try to go up, and it's good. 51-49 with 1:51 left to go. Robinson sizing up. No, gives off to Espinoza. Espinoza trying to drive it. No, back to Robinson. Sizing up Manny Loftus. She gets a screen there by Nelson. She'll take a three. No good. Rebounded there by Cameron Mooney. And there will be a foul called against Dixie State. Foul called against Espinoza. Both Regis and Dixie State will go to their benches. Manny Loftus will take free throw shots yet again. Loftus, it's good. 52-49. with 1:26 left to go. Snipes checks into the game for Regis. Loftus. It's up. No good. Almost rebounded there by Dixie State. But Nelson will get the rebound for Regis. She'll bring it up. Pavica all over her. Trying to get around the screen there. Will not work. Franks is now on her. She loses it. Franks will get the rebound. She'll try to drive it all the way to the basket. And it's good. 54-49 with a timeout taken by Regis. A full 60-second timeout has been taken. We're going to take a 30-second timeout here on Radio Dixie, right? Radio Dixie 91.3. Be right back with more.
It's back to the action for DSU Athletics, brought to you by Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln. We now return you to Dixie State Athletics.
Welcome back to Radio Dixie 91.3. We're here live with the basketball game between Dixie State Trailblazers and the Regis Rangers here on Radio Dixie 91.3. Dixie State leads it 54-49. If you're just tuning in, there's 30 seconds left to go here in this third quarter. Robinson brings it up for Regis. She'll try to eat some of the clock as there's about a 7 to 8-6 differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Robinson gives up to Espinoza. She'll take a three. Is in and out. Rebounded there by Maddie Loftus. Pavica will try to drive it herself. Maddie Loftus for a three. No, in and out. And that is how the third quarter is going to end. Allie Franks is a little shaken up. She's still on the floor. Not a good sign. She's limping from her ankle. Hopefully she's all ready to come back in. We're going to keep it here live. 54-49 is the score that will go into the fourth and final quarter. I do remind you yet again, right after this one, we will have the men's game as well. Looking at some of the numbers. Let's see what some of the numbers say. Numbers after that one, Dixie State shooting 55.3%, while Regis shot 34.3% after that one. Dixie State missing a couple of their three-point shots. They were 6 of 12 on the day at 50%. They missed both of their three-point shots in that third quarter. They set at 42.9%. Regis shot 10 three-pointers in that second half, in that third quarter, I gather up all my thoughts. They're now sitting at 23.9. Dixie State and Regis are just about even on the free throw line. Regis is 9 of 11, while Dixie State is 6 of 11 on the line. Both teams come out of the timeout on the floor this very minute. It looks like Pavica, Blazard, Loftus, Myers, and Van Capen are on the floor for Dixie State. Robinson, Nelson, Walters, Scott, and Snipes are on the floor for Regis. Blazard will bring it out, gives out to Van Capen. Back over to Loftus, back over to Van Capen, back over to Blazard. She's on the free throw line. Over to Van Capen. She's in the middle of the paint. Loses it there for a second. Rebounded there by Morgan Myers. She'll try to drive it all the way. No, gives it back over to Loftus. Tries to take a three. No, she thought twice about that. Van Capen loses it there for a second. Loftus will just shoot it up. No, it's in and out. She just got off before the shot clock went off. Scott gives it off to Robinson. Robinson directing traffic. Gives it over to Nelson. Nelson going to try to drive it. And a foul will be called. It will be a pushing foul against Nelson on Regis, and the ball will go back to Dixie State. 54-49 is the score. 9:15 left to go here. Pavica, hand over to Van Capen. And it's good. 56-49. The lead is now 7. 9 minutes left to go. Robinson directing traffic yet again. Gets around Loftus. No, it doesn't work. Turnover there. And a foul is going to be called against Regis, and one of their players is shaken up on the floor. Myers will inbound the play for for Dixie State. Pavica. Over to Van Capen. Over to Blazard. Over to back, Pavlica. Loftus, 3 is good. 59-49, 8:30 left to go. Loftus with her 4th three-pointer of the day. Espinoza has the ball herself. She's going to try to drive it. She gets it up. No, it is no good. Back up again. No, it is no good again. From Myers to Pavlica. Pavlica brings it up. She gets a screen there by Myers. Doesn't take it. Pavlica hang on to the ball. Van Capen in the paint, and she got called for a pushing foul as well. 59-49 with 7:58 left to go. Nelson gives it off to Robinson. Robinson gets a little screen there by Espinoza. She tries to drive it all the way, and it's good. 59-51, 7:40 left to go here. Loftus will bring it up. Loftus finds Van Capen. Back over to Pavlica, and 3 is good. Pavlica with her first three-pointer of the day, 62-51 with 7:19 left to go. Good ball movement there to give London Pavlica an open three-point shot, and she made it count. Nelson gives off to Robinson. Robinson trying to drive it. Back over to Espinoza. She tries to get over her screen. Back over to Robinson. Takes a 3, no, airballed. And it looked like it went off of Regis, and it will go back to Dixie State. 6:56 left to go. Dixie State brings it up. Gives it off to Myers. Back over to Van Capen. Allie Franks is back on the scorer's table. She looks to check in on the next off ball. Myers drives it, and it's good. Dixie State leads at 64-51 with 6:34 left to go, and there's a timeout taken yet again by Regis. 64-31 is the lead here by Dixie State. They're leading it by 13. We're going to take another quick 30-second timeout here on Radio Dixie 91.3. Be right back with more.
It's back to the action for DSU Athletics, brought to you by Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln. We now return you to Dixie State Athletics.
Welcome back to Radio Dixie 91.3 as we come out of the timeout here. 64-51 is the lead for Dixie State as they lead Regis with just 6:34 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Much more basketball to play. But a good start here as Dixie State tries to take their lead up to more than 13. I do remind you, after this one, we will take a quick 20-minute break and try to get ready for the pregame show and for the men's game where Regis and Dixie State will match up again as well. Regis trying to take a three-point shot. Espinoza gets the rebound. She puts it up, and it's good. 64-31. Robinson comes up with a steal. She tries to get it up, and it's good there. Regis cuts the lead from 13 to 9. Just like that in 5 seconds. Dixie State holds on to it. Franks now back in the game, turns it over. Morgan Myers still got it. And a foul will be called. A slashing foul was called against Robinson. It will stand on the floor. Loftus gets on inbound play. Pavlica takes a 3. No good off the rim. She gets her own rebound. Over to Van Capen. And she gets fouled. Snipes will get called for her third foul of the afternoon. This will stay on the floor as well. No free throw shots. Pavlica will get it on the inbound play. Back to Franks. Over to Myers. Over to Pavlica. She's in the paint. Over back to Franks. Back to Pavlica. Over to Franks. She'll get a screen. She'll try to drive it. And it's up and it's good. And a blocking foul. Did the basket count? Oh, no, they're going to call an offensive foul. My mistake. It will give it right back to Regis. 64-55, 5:28 left to go. Regis hangs on to the ball. Robinson will get it up, and it's good. 64-57. The lead is now just up by 7. 5:14 left to go. Van Capen gives it on to Myers. Back to Van Capen. Over to Franks. Back to Loftus. Loftus gets a screen. She'll take a 3, and it's good. 67-57. The lead is now back up to 10. 4:50 left to go. Espinoza. Over to Robinson. Robinson tries to drive it, and she'll get called for a traveling call there. And the ball will go back to Dixie State. Loftus. Over to Franks. Over to Pavlica. Pavlica. Tries to drive it. No, she'll give it on back to Loftus. Loftus tries to drive it. She loses there for a second. Rebound taken away by Regis. They have 2-on-1. Goes up with it, and it's good. 67-59. 4 minutes exact. Franks gets a screen there. Back to Pavlica. Back to Franks. Franks tries to drive it. Back to Loftus. Back to Pavlica. Pavlica tries to drive it, and a traveling call will be called. The ball will be given back to Regis. 3:45 left to go. A 9-point lead by Dixie State. Regis tries to get it in. Nelson almost loses it there for a second. She tries to drive it. Taken away, and a jump ball will be called. It will stay with Regis. 3:30 left to go. Over to Nelson. Nelson tries to drive it. She will not get it there. It was batted out of the way by London Pavlica, and it will stay with Regis. Pavlica will check out. Stevenson, Loftus, Van Capen, Franks, and Morgan Myers are on the floor for Dixie State. Ducklow, Espinoza, Robinson, Nelson, and Walters are on the floor for Regis. Robinson going to take a three, and it's good. 62-67. The lead is now down to 5. 3:10 left to go. Loftus gets a screen. She almost loses it there. Gets another screen by Van Capen. She tries to drive it herself. Goes up. No good. Robinson with it again. 2:55 left to go. The lead is now just to 5. Robinson doesn't know where to go. Gives it back to Espinoza. Gives it back to Loftus. Gives it back to Robinson. Espinoza trying to take a three, and it's good. 67-65. The lead is now just 2. 2:30 left to go. Van Capen. Over to Stevenson. Back to Van Capen. She's on top of the key. Loftus is on the line. Back to Van Capen. She didn't decide to take a three. Back over to Franks. Back over to Myers. Myers tries to drive it, and it's good. 69-65. Regis moving the ball around. Over to Robinson. She tried to take a three. No, she almost lost it there. 1:48 left to go. The lead is 4. Robinson trying to do a little move there. She gets it up, and it's good. 69-67. 1:38 left to go. Robinson gets a screen there. Franks, no. Loftus took a three. She did not get it. 1:20 left to go. 69-67. Loftus all over Espinoza. She loses it there for a second. Jump ball will be called, and it will go to Dixie State. 1:13 left to go. Pavlica checks into the game. Loftus loses it there for a second. Given back to Regis. Regis, 1 minute and counting. Robinson has it. Robinson going to hold on to it. 50 seconds left to go. Robinson going to try to take a two. She gets it up. No good. Rolls out. Rolls out. Pavlica try to get it past the halfway line. She'll get fouled, and she will probably most definitely go to the line. Dixie State, 6 of 11 from the line. Pavlica, it's good for her first one. She lines up for a second one. Pavlica, can she make the second one? And it's good as well. 71-67. Timeout is taken by Regis. A 30-second timeout. We're going to keep it here. Dixie State leads it by 71-67 with 42 seconds left to go. An amazing end to this basketball game. Back and forth as they go. They sound like someone that's old on the radio. But nonetheless, 71-67, 46 seconds left to go. 42 seconds left to go. A huge moment here for Regis and Dixie State, only separated by 4 points. 42 seconds left to go. Regis has the ball. Inbound play. Nelson gets the ball out of the inbound. Robinson tries for a three. No good. Rebounded there by Espinosa of Regis. Robinson for another three. No, it is no good. Rebounded there again by Regis. And a foul will be called against Lisa Van Capen for over the back. 31 seconds left to go. 71-67, 4 seconds with 4 points just separating them. Cameron Mooney now checks into the game. Espinosa comes out with it. Robinson gets a screen by her. Robinson takes the three, and it's good. 26 seconds left to go. A timeout will be called by Dixie State. Their final timeout of the afternoon. 71-70 just separates these two teams. We're going to take a quick 30-second timeout here, and we'll be right back with more.
It's back to the action for DSU Athletics, brought to you by Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln. We now return you to Dixie State Athletics.
Welcome back to Radio Dixie 91.3. 25 seconds left to go here in this one. If you're just tuning in, man, what a basketball game you have missed. Dixie State and Regis are separated by 1 point, 71-70, with 25 seconds left to go here in this fourth quarter. A huge moment for both teams. Dixie State has the ball out of the timeout. They will have to go to the full court. They will have to go to the full length of the court. Can Regis steal one, or is Dixie State going to survive? Ball almost went out of bounds, and a foul will be called against Dixie State. Kelsey Stevenson will check in for Cameron Mooney. It will be an inbound play. 24.3 seconds left to go. Dixie State still leads it by 1, 71-70. Shot clock is turned off. Espinosa gives it back off to Nelson. Back over to Robinson. Robinson going to hang for the final shot, and she gets fouled. It will stay on the floor. 19 seconds left to go. They'll take it on the inbound play. Robinson will be the inbounder. Pavlica all over her. Gives it off to Nelson. Back over to Robinson. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. Robinson going to try to do a little shimmy move. No. Gives it off to Nelson. Takes a simple shot. No, it is in and out. Rebounded by Dixie State. And there will be a scramble forward on the ball, and it will go to Dixie State. They will take foul shots. 5.3 seconds left to go. Pavlica on the line. Pavlica lines it up, and it's good. 72-70. 5.4 seconds left to go. Pavlica lines up, and it's no good. Rebounded there by Dixie State. Pavlica gets it back up, and she'll be fouled yet again. She'll go back to the line. If she makes one, it's a 3-point lead in Dixie. And Regis would have to go to the full length of the court. They have no more timeouts. 2.9 seconds to stay left on the clock. All Dixie State has to do is knock down at least one. If two is a big help here. 72. 72-70. Pavlica knocks down one. 73-70. Pavlica needs one more. Shot is up, and it's good. 74-70 is the lead for Dixie State. Regis going to try to go the full length of the court. Gets it up. No, it'll be taken away by Dixie State, and Dixie State will survive. 74-70 is the win for Dixie State. It will move them to 9-6 overall in the year and 5-6 in the RMAC. It will drop Regis to 8-7 on the year and drops them to 5-6 in the RMAC. Both teams are now squared up in the RMAC standings. 20 minutes have been put on the clock for the men's game. We'll have that game coming up here in just a few minutes. We're going to take a 5-minute timeout here on Radio Dixie 91.3. Be right back with more.
You've been listening to Dixie State Athletics on Radio Dixie 91.3, brought to you by Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln. For more information on Dixie State Athletics, DixieStateAthletics.com. Thanks for listening to Radio Dixie 91.3.